And it bothers me because I'm like, okay, if our attention span is being stifled and it's being snipped away at, and our attention span extends from us outward this way, if it's being chop, 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 to the point of where it's touching your nose, what's left to do but implode? You know what I'm saying? So I want to help stretch us back out again, you know, where music is considered again composition. You know what I mean? And I think it's going to be really urgent and imperative that someone can succeed at that being a formula again. But it's going to take somebody on the inside to advocate it. You know, what happened to the A&Rs that said, oh my God, Rush, you know, moving pictures, this is great. You know what I'm saying? You know? But now they're just trying to save their own asses and their own jobs, you know. And I do believe that is some kind of corporate genocide. Sorry if you guys are, anybody's involved in that conspiracy. or better yet, take some responsibility for yourself, demand more from yourself, demand more from your artist, demand more from your music, you know what I mean? Like, don't accept, you know what I mean? Like, stop being as tolerant as we are. Demand more.
We've spoken before about the difference between pop and hip hop, and you said that you were actually comparing Bruno Mars to Meek Mill, and what you were saying was that in hip hop there is this insistence on reality, and you said, why does it have to be so literal where we live? Why can't we be superheroes and be like movie stars and be huge? How do you advise a young artist to go to that place and stay there?
Well, because remember, we just got through stating the fact that I feel like art is supposed to be being close to the danger, to the line, you know. I wish that more of our inner city youth were more imaginative, you know, because truthfully, guys, you know, it's hard to write a song about reality because reality doesn't rhyme. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's why there are similarities between music and acting, and they're kindred in one way because it's merely a reenactment of the truth, or of an emotion, of an experience. So, you know, so none of it is real, you know, and it doesn't have to be. You know, it's just like, you know, intellectual property. I mean, like, you know how wildly and, you know, boldly imaginative can you be? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and that imagination ultimately becomes an intellectual property, which ultimately qualifies as real estate. Can you dig it?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I don't know if I did.
You kind of did. I mean, it was pretty open-ended. I guess it's just, again, going back to your history and how young you were when you were making these like hugely important and creative albums. It seems more difficult for younger artists today to take those risks and to be that serious, and they have less support on the business side. And so, what do you do? Is your advice, go ahead, do it yourself, finish the product, and then sell it? Or is it work with your friends? Is it go solo?
Well, let me try to answer that question a little better, the first one. I don't, sometimes I feel like music is like a broken down fence at the border, you know what I'm saying? You know, I don't necessarily, you know, I believe in some laws, but I believe in liberty more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you can have freedom, but somebody has to give you liberty. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I just wish that we would take the liberty to stretch out a bit further, you know what I mean, like beyond the realm of reality, you know, and start building a future from that, you know what I'm saying, like from that initiative, from that action. I mean, I don't think there's any other way. Other than that, you know, we're standing still, and, you know, basically, you know, in Ebonics, you know, swag, if you look at up in an Ebonics dictionary, and it'll say swag, and it'll be defined as standing still. And standing still is playing it safe, and there's nothing dangerous about playing it safe. You know what I mean? There's nothing inventive, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, like, or urgent about standing there. You know what I mean? So I may not always make music to make you dance, but I make music to make you move. Can you dig it? Move from one place to another.
I think that
I still didn't answer your question.
just inspire everybody. That's the answer. So when you guys first came out, was a extremely fertile time in hip hop, 93, 94, 95, and one of the ways that you've explained some of that to me is that there was a firm no biting policy amongst people who cared. Do you think that that is still true today? And no.
No, there's no honor amongst the thieves anymore.
Is that across the genres?
Yeah. I think the only thing that still stays pretty sacred and safeguarded is country music. You know, everything else is anarchy. But some good product could come out of that because, you know, fundamentally it could be fusion. You know what I'm saying? A mixture of one or more things. You know, so something good can come out of it if you have good intentions. You know.
But you are going to re-enter the fray with the solo album.
Yeah, I've got a new solo album that I'm working on. I'm almost done with it, guys. I mean, I tried to get it done earlier because I'm so ready to release new music, which is why I left The Voice and all that kind of stuff. You know, love the show. I love the show, but music, that's my, you know what I mean? It's like, I gotta be immortalized in that way and continue. So I've been working on a new album and it's entitled Girl Power. You know, women, man, they are our most miraculous muse, you know, an enchanted intangibility that encourages all art. I've only taken a shower this morning because of a woman, I promise you.
Who are you working with on the new album?
Well, I'm working with my many alter egos and personalities. I think you have your hands full with me, but producer-wise, myself and Mark Ronson. You guys may know Mark Ronson from Amy Winehouse and a host of other things, and some other guys that you don't know by name, but whose name will be made because of this project, and it's really great. And it's nothing like Lady Killer, for those of you who may have heard that, or anything else I've ever done. It's volatile in the sexiest way. So it's like, you know, the music, I talk about the 80s a lot. I actually have a song called Established in the 80s. And it's kind of like rock and soul is what it's been called before. This is what I like to call it and consider it. The way that In Excess I Need You Tonight feels, you know, or Hall & Oates, you know, Man Eater, I Can't Go For That, you know, that kind of stuff. So I like that vibe, so I was really vibing off that as an inspiration, you know. And I'm hoping, never like to be too pretentious, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, but I'm really hoping and I really believe, and this is wishful thinking and willing it to be my best album. It's so good, y'all. I mean, fuck it, I'm gonna be pretentious, man. This is the greatest album. And I've also done a really cool mixtape. It is called TV on the Radio. You guys know that band? I got that blessing to do it too. And what I did was, I went back in time and I made original songs to a host of classic television theme songs. Nice. So You guys, I mean, who's old enough to remember Taxi?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's a tune from Herb Albert, if you know him. It never had words, but it's a completely famous piece of music. So I decided to write a song to it. And then the idea came, and I just started thinking of all the different cool ones that didn't already have lyrics to it, you know. And I'm almost done with that. I'm only going to do 8 of them because 8 is enough. Who got that? Come on.
Oh, right here.
So I'll be giving that away for free sometime soon. The next couple of weeks. It's almost done. It's really cool. Check it out. Then you get ready for girl power.
Where do you work?
You know, I've done pretty well for myself, and my building is behind me. So if I say, hey, I want to go to Miami for a weekend and get a studio down there, like, you sure? You think that'll help? I'm like, yeah, that'll help. So I'll go to Miami, but I'm based out of LA, and back and forth between LA and Atlanta. But I've done most of the album in LA and the Bahamas.
How do you feel about doing interviews? How do you feel about music interviews and music journalism?
You can't tell that I'm talking to. I love to talk, man. I got some bright ideas. I've got a clue. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that people can know me a little bit more in depth, you know, something, because sometimes people, the characters I've ended up being, or the character that I am, you know, it's pretty convincing, man. People think I'm walking around with that cat all day. Yeah, no. That cat right now is in jail on tax evasion. So. I'm just kidding. No, but no, I actually care. I actually have a lot to say. I have a pretty extensive opinion about certain things, and yeah, I'm a pretty well-rounded person, pretty much, pretty grounded. I'm not zany at all.
Mm-hmm. What you told me one time was that.
But I have to confirm that with an interview. So I have to talk, and I think this is the most. No, but remember, you know, art can still be misunderstood, and it's supposed to be. So the words that when you hear from the horse's mouth, you know what I mean, like, you know, this is what immortalizes you. You know, and I look at those books, I mean, quotes from great celebrities, great, you know what I mean, I look at stuff like that, I'm like, damn, in my lifetime, I want to say something as cool as that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking for them, those sound bites that, you know, after my time has passed, I'm like, you know, somebody could have been, you know, affected in a positive way by something I said, you know, so I just try to talk enough to get it out.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's what you said, that like these are those quotes that live on. They can also, however, be transcribed incorrectly.
Oh yeah.
And then sort of go viral, flawed.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary.
It is.
So does music journalism, does that help you create? Does that help your career? Does it help you sort of think about your own work in a different way? Or is that just like tangential?
But you have to understand that I've made a career out of a cause, and anything that is a cause is for someone is possibly something selfless. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's why I can ease in and out of these different characters and stuff like that, you know, because I'm not concerned about myself, so to speak. It's all about people and showing them that they could be any one thing they want to be, or any, you know, few things that they are capable of being, as long as it's natural and honest and your truth, you know what I mean, like, you know, and then good spirit. So I'm a pretty selfless person. I'm kind of really, in the most literal way, ready to give my life to you. You know, without that cause, I don't have much to say at that point.
What is the cause?
The cause is just balance.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I just believe that, you know, balance is righteous. You know what I mean? I'm not an advocate of the senseless soundboard killings. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just innocent people. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so balance, you know, like, is my fight. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so people can not be led blindly, you know, so like, you know, into the night, but, you know, be able to make a decision, you know, so like to go willingly or don't go at all, you know. Can you dig that? What can I say?
So who preceded you down that path? Who are your heroes?
Musically,
Or not?
Sly Stone. Prince, of course. Ooh. Who else? I don't know, that's too easy, Michael Jackson. I mean, you name it. You name it. I'll say those two names right off the top of my head. Ooh, I know I'm going to leave it at this. I should have said whoever, but I mean, I love Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
You know, Cameo. You guys know Cameo?
Yeah.